What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Magic Eden ME today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It's the 7th day of June. Here we are on the 7th day of June, with about 22 hours and 15 minutes left in the day. This is the first time I've talked about Magic Eden ME, at least in the form of a dedicated video, and I wanted to talk about it here, but I had a feeling we'd pull back down, so I've been waiting. And I think this is a good time to talk about it because, obviously, throughout your life cycle, you're at some of the lowest prices that you've ever seen and maybe will ever see. You know what I mean? Magic Eden, for those of you that don't know, is effectively an NFT marketplace, a multi-chain NFT marketplace. What does that mean? That means if your NFT is on Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Base Chain or Base, Ape Chain, Arbitrum, I got a list, SEI, Monad, Barachain, any of those. If your NFTs are on that, you can trade them in this marketplace, right? And that's that's very, very useful. Initially, it was focused to just support Solana, but has expanded to 15 different blockchains, which is awesome. Aiming to be a universal platform for digital asset trading. It offers features like user-friendly launchpad for minting new NFT projects, blah, 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 all that stuff. Yeah, you can stake it. You can have governance in it if you stake it, if you own the token and stuff like that, right? You go here on Magic Eden, CoinMarketCap, click on the website and the white paper. Read the white paper if you want to invest in it. I haven't read the white paper yet. I'm considering investing in it, and I only read the white papers of projects that I actually consider investing in, okay? There's plenty of projects that I've read the white paper and I've never bought the coin, but still, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to buy this coin just because I read the white paper, but I am going to read the white paper. Probably should have done it before this video, to be completely fair, but I have a general understanding of what this is. You click on the website, it brings you here, and you can stake your ME if you'd like to. That adds a little bit of risk, but it also adds reward, right? So if you want to stake, if not, if you just want to hold it, I don't blame you. That's the more secure route to go, but Magic Eden, check it out. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm not a paid shill. I don't get paid for anything. I've had people try to pay me to shill various things, and it's no offense to them. You know, I like that's fine. You're marketers trying to market your product. I respect the hustle. It's just not my style. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what interests me, and I don't need to be paid for it. And I also want to talk about what interests you guys and what you guys like to talk about too. And you don't have to pay me for that either, right? If I'm being paid for something, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if I ever get paid to talk about a token, I can't see myself, like, I would have to already be talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that I'm about doing, because what that means then is I get paid whether the token does well or does not do well, whether you guys get screwed or you don't get screwed. I make money. That doesn't sit right with me, right? It's not bad for the marketers. Marketers got to market. They got to promote their product, and it's not bad for the people who promote products. Whatever. It's just, it doesn't sit right with me, right? It's like I don't know. Like, if you're a vegetarian, you don't eat meat because it doesn't sit right with you, but that doesn't mean that everybody who eats meat is a terrible person. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's get into the TA. I'm talking about different things here. Let's get into the TA. Okay, so here we are at 85 cents right now. 22 hours, 12 minutes left in the day. Near, if not at, our all-time low areas. And I love charts that look like this, man. Whenever you get listed on an exchange like Binance or Coinbase, typically what you see is a 60 to 75% drop before you start to recover. After getting listed, wherever your high is, that's what you see. Here we got a 91% drop. And as of the current moment, where our price is right now, we're down 89%. Hold on, let me get it right there. 89.1%. Effectively, if you were to go up to new all-time highs, you'd be getting a 10x just with that alone, let alone if you see new all-time highs. You know what I mean? Crazy, crazy stuff. 10x with that alone would be miraculous. If we're looking at Magic Eden here on a market cap valuation, and it doesn't tell you the high, it just tells you the closing price, so it's 743 million. But if we're looking at this and we're looking at it on a chart, you can see that there was a wick to the upside here as well. There was a wick right up here. We came down. So the market cap says that the highest level was 743 million. I bet we wicked up to $1 billion. That's probably the all-time high for the market cap. Here you are at 126 million, 126.7 million. Clearly, if you were to do a 10x from here, that puts you at 1.26 billion. That's above this. So because of that, because a 10x from here would be above this in market cap, but a 10x from here would basically just get you right back to your all-time high. There has been some dilution, and we're aware of that, right? Market cap is here. Fully diluted valuation is 853 million. There's going to be some token unlocks. It happens, right? But they're probably not getting unlocked until later in the cycle. I mean, if we're looking at the token unlocks, let's just see here real quick. Yeah, slowly but surely. Most of it, like the real unlocking starts to happen here in December, the late parts of December or mid parts of December this year. That's when the unlocks happen. Again, read the white paper, be aware of the tokenomics, but I don't think these unlocks are going to get in the way of anything this cycle, right? Not, at least not for the coming like 5 to 6 months. Probably not. I guess at this point it'd be like 4 to 5 months. Let's be fair. ME coming out, dropping 90%, is at a very ample opportunity to see some solid returns here, you guys, right? This project has been around since 2021. They didn't just come out in December of 2010. That's when the coin came out, but they've been around since 2021. Do you think that they listed on Binance, on all of these exchanges, they got exposure on all these exchanges, and they have no game plan for the price to come back up? What you're witnessing right here is just an initial sell-off after the ICO, all the pre-sale buyers, all the team members, all the people who got their money in. It's valued at $1 billion at the top here at market cap valuation. Of course they're going to sell and get out, right? And you have people who buy the dips, and then they buy the highs, and then they panic sell. You have people selling all the way through, people who are bored looking to get into other projects. What you've got here is a very nice rounded bottom, and you can look it up. Rounded bottom patterns, saucer pattern, frying pan pattern, whatever you want to call it. On charts, it's a very bullish thing. It suggests a heavy sell-off, a shift in momentum, and then recovery. That's what it suggests. And typically, when you sell off like this and you don't recover, you don't really have any real recovery. I say you don't recover. I mean, let's be fair, from a low to a high here, 111% in the course of like a week. That's a lot of recovery right there. But you haven't really recovered. You haven't seen a substantial retracement. You're going to get an explosive move, right? There's a reason why we've taken so much time to get to this point to do the TA here. 85 cents now. When you move up, and I think it's going to be very soon, you're going to see a fantastic breakout, man. This is going to be like Pepe. It's going to be like Dogecoin last cycle. It's going to see some crazy stuff, man. I really do expect that sometime in July, we'll see this thing at a $15 price or higher. Here you are all the way right now at 85 cents and potentially going lower. And let's look at that real quick. But if you're not there, if you're not there, then it's possible you could not be there. Maybe you're only here, but still, even so, I would think that by the end of July, you're at least above $5, if not higher, right? And even then, that's a 5.6x to a 7x essentially. That's above average. That's above average what we'd expect the average coin to do in the same amount of time. But Magic Eden's market cap, you guys, it's so low. It's so low. 127.9 million is a very low market cap. And there are unlocks happening, but very, very modest right now, right? It's not going to affect the price too much, at least. That's my expectation, at least. So sure, maybe we get a 5x or a 7x at a minimum. But if we don't stop here, if you break above $8, the only logical place you're going to is $15 or higher. $15 or higher. You could see, a 10x from here would put you at about a $1.3 billion market cap. You could see a 20x. You could see a 40x. Like, who's to say you might go all the way up to a $7 or a $10 billion market cap on this first lick right here, man. This is a project that's been around for a long time. It hasn't just been around since what this chart shows, right? This is just how long the token's been around. NFTs, and this is an NFT marketplace project, they are sleeping right now. They're dormant. What happens when it becomes the next big thing? People ask what the next big thing's going to be, and everybody's like, when are we going to get away from memes? Here's the deal, guys. Memes are always going to be here. Memes are going to stay, but the degens that trade these memes, a lot of liquidity, a lot of funds, new funds, old funds, people gamble in the meme coin markets, lose money, make money, whatever. It's got a lot of attention. There will be a time when that party stops and people are going to look for other projects. They're going to say, oh, I could 10x my coin, my Michael Saylor coin, or my I don't know, Trump coin. I could 10x that and it's a meme coin, or I could invest it in a project that has 10x potential as well, or 18x potential. But it's not just a meme, it actually has fundamental value, right? It's not going to be a hard leap to make to connect the dots here on the thought logic that you can degen in the meme markets to get a 10x or more, or you can play it safe with some of these low value cryptos that have fundamental values backing them beyond just the community and NFTs and stuff like that. It's going to shift. NFTs are very similar to memes, right? And they oftentimes are made in representation of memes, or memes get made as a representation of NFTs. It's digital art, but it goes in cycles. Right now, memes are hot, then NFTs are hot, or low cap altcoins with fundamental values will be hot, right? There's a lot of money siphoning off the rest of the markets, going into memes right now, that will then in turn siphon from memes and be put into other serious things in the markets. And I could just see something like this taking off and doing very, very well. Okay, that's my expectation. And with the coming tide, the coming turn of the tide here, this frying pan, this rounded bottom pattern, when you move up, I would expect it's at a very, very fast pace. Even at a disappointing result, $4.76 to $6 from here, 85 cents. I don't think anybody's going to be upset. You can be disappointed and wipe your tears away with your Benjamins, your freshly minted Benjamins there, right? And if not, we're probably going to go higher. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if at some point in July we're at $15 to $21, and by the end of the cycle, dramatically higher. Absolutely, by the end of the cycle, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this token was worth $100 or even multiple hundreds of dollars, right? 100x potential, multi-100x potential. Dude, you could be worth $402 by the end of this cycle, and you're worth 85 cents now. Could be does not mean that you will be, but that's probably the highest I could see. Realistically, I think you'll be somewhere between $100, maybe let's say $90 to $200. That's probably a more realistic approach. But anything and everything in between, if not, the highest that I'd give you is $402 by the end of the cycle. Let's get into some short-term stuff, and then we'll wrap this video up, okay? Looking at the 1 hour time frame, you do have lower highs here, rejecting the 50 right there, okay? Found some resistance at prior areas of support, found some resistance. It kind of looks bullish, though. I'm not going to lie. I like this. I actually like this setup a lot. It's kind of like an Adam and Eve almost. I like that set. You guys, you ever see this? Especially whenever it's like this, let alone if it's tilted. That's a good setup. But will it continue? That's the question. I mean, you're getting good volume here, man. Damn, I shouldn't have been making a video on Magic Eden. I should have just been buying it. I don't know. 1 hour time frame looks good, although you are rejecting the 50. You have 3 minutes left. You are rejecting the 50, which is not a good thing in itself. Overall, I guess you're bearish. You're probably going to come back down, but you're very, very near the low, man. I wouldn't be surprised if that was your low and you don't go below there. But if you do go below there, it's not going to be too much more. Let's look at this low to high here. Crazy volatility. I have a theory. This is a test pump. This is a test pump. Return to normal. The big dogs were testing out their new Ferrari, and now it's in the garage for the little dogs like us to scoop some up, and then we'll go for a joyride with them when they're ready to take it out for more than just a test drive here. But if we were to go lower, I just look at that right at the 886, man. I don't think we go below there. I don't. I really don't. Let me see. Let's look at another fib. Hold on. Low to high here. Low there, high there. 786. I don't think you do. I don't think you go below this. I think you're holding that low, and I'm very much anticipating that it does move up higher. Maybe not like today or tomorrow, but soon enough, right? 4 hour time frame. RSI also looks bullish, actually. I would say you rejected the 50, but you didn't really see any. I guess you did see some bearish recourse, but what? This is all it is. I guess I'm in a standstill. I want to be bullish. I want to be bullish, and I have reasons to be bullish. But there's some things that are telling me hold off in the charts. I wish I could see what, like 8 hours from now, where the price would be. Because if 8 hours from now we're back above this high on this wick right here, absolutely that's the low. But if 8 hours from now this comes down, like 2 hours from now we close this down, it's just a wick to the upside. It's a red candle, kind of like this one here. And then on that following candle we're below this low, then maybe we do go below this low too. It's really hard to say. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but it is hard to say. With that weekly candle, I guess, man, it's just so hard. I'm not swayed by this weekly candle, honestly. It looks bearish. It looks like you'd be going off to new all-time lows, but I'm not so quick to say that. Here's what I will say, so I can make up my damn mind. I think at this point I've come to the conclusion that maybe I was too quick to say you won't go below this low. Maybe you do go below this low. I am expecting Bitcoin to drop 8% or so from its current price, which would result in about a 16% drop or more for the average altcoin across the board. And if you were to drop 16% or more, you're basically at your all-time low, if not lower. And getting a double bottom off your all-time low, I could see that happening, man. That would make a lot of sense. Maybe you go a little bit lower. Maybe you get this V and then you get this U here. Yeah, you see it? Like I said, man, if you ever get this, that's a nice look. That's a really good look, and you might be forming that now. That doesn't mean that you're going to move up immediately, but going into the end of the month and then going into July, that's when we should see the fireworks really starting to play out. And just because I have it drawn this way doesn't mean that it has to be like end of June here and we're still consolidating. I don't think that it'll be like that, but I don't know. Maybe it's a V and a V. You know, who knows? And that's actually even more bullish, But I guess at this point in time, here we are at 85 cents right now, 22 hours left in the day. I would assume that we go lower. Prove me wrong. Prove the original expectation right. Get above 90 cents. If you can get above 90 cents, we'll probably move all the way up to $1 and prove that this is the low. But if you can't get above 90 cents, in fact, if you can't get above this high, you will likely go lower. And I think at this point in time, I'm pretty convinced that you do go lower. So yeah. There are some good-looking things about the 1 hour time frame, but I don't think it's good enough. I think this was your chance. You didn't do anything with it. You closed this last hour to the downside. You might close this next one to the downside too. Reject the 50 on your RSI and then continue bleeding down into the oversold zone, where you will likely find your low, wherever it is, and then continue to recover going into next week or the following week or something like that. Yeah. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.